Hello and welcome back. If this is your first time here, thanks for tuning in. If you're a returning guest, welcome back. I'm Alexandria. I make lifestyle and vlog travel content here on YouTube. If you like this kind of stuff, please like and subscribe and share it. What's going on with me right now? I'm checking in from one of the crazier work days I've had in a long while, but I kind of appreciated it. A lot was going on. I was gonna come here earlier to Grandview Market to work in their co-working space, but I got a later start, and I know that they only have one plug, which is not a great co-work. It's technically not a co-working space, but it's like a flex space. I love those types of places, but it's hard to get a plug. And I was like, well, if I'm not gonna have a plug, I might as well work at the Royal Poinciana Plaza here in West Palm Beach. Well, it's actually technically on Palm Beach Island, because I'm like, I can work outside there, enjoy the warm weather and sun and their little setup there and free Wi-Fi. And they don't have plugs either, but I also wanted coffee from St. Ambrose, so I was like, I'm gonna stop at St. Ambrose and then go to Grandview. But I was like, well, Grandview doesn't have a plug either, and they don't have the coffee that I want, so I might as well stay there until my computer dies or until I decide I can leave. So I took my first meeting at St. Ambrose, and then I came here to Grandview, and it kind of got crazy for a second because I came and sat in the living room and I couldn't get a plug, and my meeting started, and then I was like, let me go sit outside because there's a plug outside, and I was able to charge up outside, but the sun was moving and I had 3 back-to-back meetings. So as the sun was moving, my computer and stuff was getting hot, I was getting more exposed in the sun, and I was finagling. Then I got another meeting added at the last minute, and I was like, okay, I gotta find a way to go back inside. I had to leave a meeting to take another meeting and then come back to that same meeting that was still going. And I was talking to my department lead, and I was like, we've been in most of our meetings together today, and I was like, is this how you lead your life? What even is this? This is insane. But I don't know, problem solving in a practical manner in my real life. Well, actually in my physical life, immediate physical life, as well as working at work and being present and active today, was great. I ordered lunch, so I've had breakfast out and lunch out. I'm walking this little path. It's so cute. I've never walked through this side. This is still a developing area here in West Palm Beach. I'm at I started at Grandview Market, but I think this is called the District, and there's the warehouse district area. They just built these, oh yeah, this apartment building I think is called the District. But yeah, they built out some of the warehouses and stuff here, and there's restaurants inside Grandview Market. I should walk around the other side because I know there's a little store that I would go into, and they would have live music some days. They have yoga during the weekend in their little parking lot area. There's a brewery I think I just walked by. People were sitting outside drinking and all that good stuff. I'm out of breath telling you guys about today. So what's going on now? First of all, these are my last couple days in Florida. I'm heading back to Chicago. I've been enjoying the sun, really loving it, and kind of keeping up with my runs. I didn't get as many miles as I want to, but mostly because I was resting, working, spending time with family, etc. Got some good beach time. I feel like I could have gotten some more beach days, to be honest. I got vaccinated, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna do this kind of from the side just because I don't want to shoot against the sun, just because it doesn't work. Actually, the sun is kind of more west anyway, but yeah, than behind me. But yeah, last couple days here in Florida, co-working from outside the house because I needed to get some stuff done, and I have an after work project. Okay, Elizabeth Avenue Station is the name of the place that I've been in before, where they would have yoga and stuff, and I don't know if they still do, but it's still here. And there's a vintage motorcycle company as well, seems like. But yeah, finishing on my work day, I have another outside work project that I have a team for, where we're working on learning to pitch more, and I'm so behind. I think we're all behind, but I'm still behind. So I need to catch up on that. I have like an hour and a half before that. I've packed all my stuff up. I think I'm gonna grab some tacos for my sister and brother-in-law from the taco place in the food hall here, and then drive back home, pour myself a glass of wine. I got some great wines from this place called the Delray Wine Wave here in Florida. Here in Palm Beach County. The owners are great. Jeremiah is his name, and one of the wine clerks I actually know because we used to do deductive tasting together when I was still in the industry. And he recommended this wine. I finished the other one that I picked out, but he recommended another Italian white to me. I don't even know the grape at this point. I was just like, he recommended it. It's good. I opened it yesterday, and I'm gonna have some more tonight because what a day. What a day. It was exciting. It was fun. I got to work outside of the house, and I didn't feel bad with my nephew like coming to me and like, do you have a meeting? Will you play with me? Or he'll be like, I have a meeting too, which is hilarious. But yeah, there was a bee. I'm not gonna panic. Oh my God, where did it go? I hope it's not on me. Okay, so yeah, the next couple of days, me and my sister are gonna take my mom out for Mother's Day, and then we're supposed to go out with our cousins, well, two of our cousins once again, and then I'll be back in Chicago early Sunday morning. So I'll try to capture our last goings out and all of that good stuff. So stay tuned. I'll talk to you all later. Okay, I keep having awkward moments with my neighbors coming by, and if I move, it's probably because they just pulled all of our like lounge stuff out of storage. Like all the furniture that is up on this roof goes away for like the better half of the year because it's Chicago and it's freezing cold for a lot of the year. But they just brought it back out. But I'm always like wary of like bugs and just like dust and stuff. But you know what? I have to have some enjoyment, you know what I mean? And it actually seems pretty clean, and it's made for outside, and most times like it's pretty safe. I haven't had any issues yet in the last 3 years that I've been here. So what's going on with me? So many good updates. Very good news. I think I've talked before about like wanting to and planning to go back to New York by the time July comes. We're at the end of May. Those things are well on their way. So in the month of June, I am moving cities, moving apartments, and also moving jobs. I landed a really great job in New York that I start in like a little over a week and a half. And wait a minute, when is the holiday weekend? Yeah, this weekend. Okay. I start that position in a little over a week and a half, and I cannot wait. It is New York based, so that's great. I had the opportunity to work remotely with the job that I have now, and I was gonna take it, but then I got this other position. I'm not. So I have an Asana like moving hot sheet of so many things to do. I kind of want to make a video on just like tips on moving and just how to manage moves. In the last like 7 or so years, I moved, well, I guess you'd say in the last 10 years, I moved out of the nest for the first time. So like I didn't go away for college. I lived on campus, but I was a commuter before that. So like my mom lived really close to the campus where I went to school at FAU. So my first time out of the nest was moving to New York, and I didn't have a lot of belongings and stuff, so it was kind of easy. But state to state moves, I'm kind of getting, hopefully this is my last one for a really long time, but in the last 10 years I've done plenty. So I moved from Florida to New York. Almost 4 years later, I moved back from New York to Florida, but I didn't have to find somewhere to stay because I live with family. And then moving from And then when I moved the first time, I was moving from with family. And then moving from there, from Florida to Chicago, I was living at my sister's place, so I didn't have to like close out a lease and shut off my Wi-Fi and all of that stuff. So that wasn't as complicated, but it was like a thing that you have to strategize and plan a lot. And now I'm moving from Chicago to New York, and that means this is my first time living alone, and I'm trying to, you know, seal out what it means to leave a place that I've been leasing for the last 3 years and get into a new lease. I'm sorry, there's a helicopter coming overhead. That is kind of noisy. All right. Very nice. Okay. So yeah. So I have to, you know, on my own work out turning off my Wi-Fi and getting my walkthrough and sealing up and patching up anything in the apartment that I've edited or need to like repair, timing when I'm gonna get my stuff picked up and reserve my elevators and all of this stuff. Not very exciting stuff if you're not adulting, but I'm happy to be going where I'm going. Let me get some wine, because why pour wine if we're not gonna drink it, right? And I feel like I have a limited amount of time of leaving this alone before a bug tries to get into it. And what I'm drinking right now, for once in my life, I am drinking, not once in my life, I'm drinking a domestic wine from this producer called Matthiasen. I had this same wine, let me show you the label. I had this same wine when I was in New York at Mary and Daniel's house, like back in March. And does it even say Matthiasen on there? Oh wow, it just says Tendu. Tendu is the name of the bottling. I believe it's the blend. It's a blend. It's like all Italian grapes. I believe it's like Nelichu and Aglianico and something else. But we had it, and it's really juicy and punchy. And I found it at Foxtrot here in Chicago when I was out with my coworkers last week. And I was like, let me get it. It's a cheap little bottle of wine to have in the house, because I have my bar is kind of stocked right now, but I didn't really have any bottles of still wine in the house. I had some dessert wine in the fridge, but that's more occasional and specific as opposed to like the everyday, like let me pour a glass of wine. So I was like, I need to have something on deck. So I got that. Back to this move. I will be arranging all of it. So in the next couple of weeks, I'm going, at the end of next week, I'm going back to New York. I'm gonna hang out with Mario and Daniel and see whoever else while I'm there. Maybe I'll see my friend Rose and a couple of other people, but ultimately I'll be starting my new job while I'm out of town, and I'm only gonna be there for about 6 days in order to tour apartments and sign a lease. So the plan is be here, have my last day next Friday. At the end of my last day, I'll be getting on a plane to go to New York. Hopefully I find an apartment over the weekend, and then start the new job while I'm still in New York, come back at the end of that week, have an address that I can go to uship.com, and this is not sponsored by Uship, but I use them, and I have used them over the years, and I love them, and have been able to rely on them to get my belongings around. Give Uship an actual address. Use Uship. I can finally give the shipping company that I'm using an actual address. So that'll be great. Come back, arrange that, be starting at my new job, pack up all my stuff. I think my friend Yaz is coming to hang out with me in my last days in Chicago and first days in New York. I have some people that like I want to enjoy my last days in Chicago with. So I'll probably do like a couple nights of drinks, maybe some nights up here on the rooftop, a couple nights of dinners, and then be off to New York. And I am so excited. I don't like to do a lot of talking head vlogs, but I wanted to do this one just to update you all and like let you know what's going on. So I guess it took me a while to edit the last vlog, and then I realized there was still a piece that I had left off, so I just included it on the beginning of this vlog so you guys could see what I was talking about, because that was actually the day that, I think that was one of the first days that I actually took the interview for the job that I got now. And that's what's been going on. And I had picked up the camera. I've mainly been in my house, gone for a couple runs, walks and stuff. And I'll update you guys on Insta every now and then. But I know I needed to get back to vlogging, but I was waiting. Like, I had to kind of wait until I told my new job and told my old job that I was going and secured everything and, you know, let my folks know when it was the right time. So yeah, in that time of it just being like a whirlwind of trying to figure out workflows and making decisions and spending time not just working and managing my own life, but also trying to get through this interview process and thinking about managing this move and where we're gonna go. And I've been planning a lot of content stuff just because it's warming up outside. We're kind of turning a corner of some sort, at least in my life, in the pandemic. I'm moving to a new city, and there's just so many like parts of a new chapter. And I must say I'm very excited because some of you may know this if you know me personally or if you've been following me for a while, but it's a huge moment because I moved to New York and, you know, I really was grinding it out. But when I left, I envisioned a very specific thing for when I came back. And it took me 5 years, but that's where I'm at going back. You know, God willing, everything goes smoothly with my finding an apartment and all that good stuff. But I was living with roommates. I was working in hospitality. Acting wasn't, you know, looking bright as far as like being my bread and butter. And there were other things going on, but my nephew was smaller, and I was like, maybe I should be spending some time with my family right now. And I moved back to Florida, and I was like, I'm gonna be gone for a year, you know? I'm gonna be gone for a year tops. But I knew I needed to leave New York because it was starting to like wear on me, my roommate situation, my work situation. And I thought about moving to Chicago then. And I was like, I don't have money to pay my Brooklyn rent and save to move my stuff across the country, pay first and deposit, and the other, you know, accessory cost of moving. You know, moving is very expensive as far as like usually like for now in the next 2 weeks I'm probably going to be paying 3 months worth of rent between 2 months of my Brooklyn rent probably, unless they like suspend the deposit, which a lot of great stuff is going on for renters right now in Brooklyn and New York just because of the state of after the panini and New York real estate is where it is right now. So I have to pay my last month's rent here, and then I have to pay at least first, maybe first in deposit. I had to buy a flight there and back. I have to eat. I have to take Ubers. I have to check luggage. I have to apply. You know, there's usually an application fee. So all that stacks up. So while I was in New York back in, 2016, I was like, can I afford to do all of that while still living in New York and making the money I make? And the answer was mostly no. So I was like, I'll go home. And like part of going home was I can stack up some money. And I ended up deciding to come to Chicago instead of New York. I said, I give Chicago 3 years. I'm just a couple months over 3 years, and I decided I wasn't going to stay, but I kind of knew that from the beginning. But I was like, if my life takes like a crazy turn as far as like with a partner, or like if I have kids or work or something that I just compulsory like need to be here, or decide that this is where I want to be. But it's always been like New York or nowhere, as they say. So I'm sticking with that. I've achieved that, and I'm like, I'm going back. I wanted to live alone, and I wanted to get out of hospitality. I wanted to be able to make enough money to live alone comfortably and make certain steps. So like very specific things that I set out to do, I have accomplished in this move and will be reality for me. So like the job, the financial standings for the most part, the living alone, the getting out of hospitality, doing something I'm excited about, getting in a position I feel way more comfortable in, and being where I want to be. I want to be in New York. Gumbug, I'm not bothering you, don't bother me. See? So yeah, it's a huge accomplishment to get through all of those things for me, and I'm just really excited. Just like living life on my terms and doing things that I want to do. It's very exciting, very important to me. I have so many plans for like content and stuff when I get to New York. And even this move, there's like 80,000 things I want to make, like a moving from state to state informational, you know, type of video. I want to talk about Chicago and New York. I want to talk about moving from Chicago to New York, the differences, and talk about moving in this state of the world and just all of the good stuff. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So many new things happening. So much excitement. I'm going to just show in this last month, show the job that I've had in this last year, a lot of gratitude, show myself some gratitude, show Chicago gratitude for what it's been to me in the last 3 years and the people here, show my home and like my space that I've been in gratitude, and this and do my best to enjoy the last moments here. When I get to New York, just really planting the energy there and being like, I'm back, baby. I'm back, baby. Okay. Yes. So just planting the energy of being back in New York, being where I want to be, and doing my best to like really show my appreciation for it and take advantage of it. And yes, make myself useful to others and do what I'm supposed to be doing and what I'm happy to do. I'm so excited. I could talk about this forever. I've probably been going for 15 minutes. I just wanted to pop in and say that to y'all. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, share it, talk to me down in the comments, and I will keep y'all updated as much as I can in this process. I'm so happy to just jump back on. I'm going to enjoy the sunset. I'll share some with you, and I'm going to enjoy my wine. So delicious. This is like, I think it was like $20. I think it was like $20. This bottle of wine. Very, very flexible, if you will. We're not going to get into the wine. Let's look at the sunset.